Is you ready for the Lord? For he watches me. Alright. I'm in the building. You in the building?
Oh man.
Is we in the building?
Let me go ahead and start.
Do you want to sing a song? Do you want to sing a song?
Huh?
You want to sing a song?
Okay.
What you want to sing?
Lord.
No, I'm talking about a serious song, Jay. For the subject. Another day's journey.
Oh boy.
God kept me here.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh, I made it through another day's journey.
But God
kept me here. A heartache. I've had so many heartaches.
So what?
But I'm still here. I've had so many lie down. But I'm still here.
Hallelujah.
Do it all. I made it. Yeah, that's an easy song, bro.
I'm still here.
Sitting in the car, listening to my granddaddy. Cigarette in one hand, steering wheel in the other.
He was singing this song.
Bruh, it was ridiculous. I'm like, granddaddy, dang, every time I get in the car.
Granddaddy, you know.
But what's up, man?
What's good, everybody, yo? Listen, it's your favorite. 2 favorite brides of Christ on the mic. The Godly Gangster Gang.
Godly Gangster.
Christian Gangster Street Ministries on the mic, y'all.
Street Ministries.
Y'all, if I'm being honest, this is going to be a really serious episode. There may be a few laughs in here, but honestly, this is going to be extremely serious. But yeah, man, before we get into that, look, we hope y'all having a blessed one.
Absolutely.
You know, we definitely appreciate y'all and all of y'all's support. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Absolutely, man.
Every week, faithfully, to hear what we got to say and hear our big mouths going. You know, because we definitely appreciate that, man. We're just trying to, you know.
Absolutely.
For real.
We appreciate you guys so much, man. Y'all be, you know, sharing and all that. Co-workers, I got to hand it to you, man. Y'all be in the building. I appreciate y'all for real, for real.
Y'all coworkers are really nice, y'all.
Yeah, man. They be like, you know, man, I really enjoy y'all. They love it, man. So we got some supporters there for sure.
Definitely, man. We appreciate y'all. Even though I don't know y'all, I feel like I be knowing y'all just for that little moment on live. So.
They funny, bro. They funny.
Yeah, Kristen cool.
Yeah, she was like, every time it's Christian.
Okay.
Kristen. Every time I see her, she be like, dang, I love your friend Jay. She's so funny. She was like, yeah, you funny too. I'm like, dang! That's hot, man!
Dang!
I can't get no love!
Nah, but you funny too though. You are hilarious, bro. Anybody who knows you personally, like you really funny, bro.
Yeah, you gotta earn my funniness though. You
get it? You gotta earn my funniness.
It's like you gotta earn my love.
Yo, last week, make sure y'all go and look at last week's video because the one thing I can't get over is stuck in my head from last week's video. When you was trying to say femininity, you said, "Whew, that's a hard word." So y'all make sure y'all check out last week's video, man. See us talking about femininity. I think both.
We talked about it all week, man.
We really did. I think my video might not be up. Y'all,
I don't even know.
Social media been acting crazy.
Yeah, so we be posting on time. I promise you. Matter of fact, I'm about to go look to see if it posted it. Cause I posted it early this morning.
Mm-hmm. Y'all be acting crazy for real.
And Facebook trying to keep us under, but we refuse.
For real.
Rebuke that. It didn't post.
See, man.
I'm gonna try again tonight.
That's the trick of the enemy.
I swear, man. When you're trying to do good in the industry,
I'm gonna say the industry.
Of the industry and the kingdom, man. That's what happens.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the devil come at you in multiple ways, man. It's
Absolutely.
Crazy. When you really doing what you're supposed to do out here for the kingdom, and you doing what God has called you to do. It's funny how the enemy will try to do whatever he can to knock you out, bro.
Absolutely.
It's so crazy.
It's rough.
You gotta stay prayed up, though, man.
Definitely. I mean, but
the full armor.
That's why a lot of people decide not to take this route. I mean, not only is it difficult, but it takes sacrifice. It takes dedication and commitment. And honestly, a lot of people don't want to do that. They can't even commit to whoever they with. Yeah. You know, if they can't do that, they definitely can't commit to God.
Man, I feel that.
It's the simple things.
It's crazy though, man. You gotta, whatever God has called you to, you gotta be willing to answer the call regardless of whatever comes with it. Because with you answering in that call, you're doing exactly what God has called you to do. And in that, you're going to be protected. You're going to be covered. Regardless of what the enemy throws at you or whatever test God may, give you. You're going to make it through. It's just you holding tight to your faith and holding tight to what God has spoken to you over all these years.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, y'all, we ain't going to hold y'all too long.
Yeah, that was a quick baby word.
That was 8 minutes worth of bullcrap.
It wasn't, though.
I mean, not bullcrap, but you know what I'm saying. 8 minutes.
Yeah,
but, so let's go ahead and get into the subject, man. But before that,
y'all,
we got to pray, man.
We do. Man.
I know I prayed today. I know you've been praying, Jay.
I've been praying a lot.
Prostrating over the pews.
All of it, bro. Definitely. In the car, everything, bro. It's been a wild couple of days, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely been praying a lot, though. So, yeah, y'all need to make sure y'all be praying out here, man. Stay prayed up, cover your people, bro.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, man, I'm going to let Kayla go ahead and pray.
Oh, you just put that on me like that.
I'm trying to tell you, because if I do it, Kayla, we both going to be sitting here prostrating and crying together. So
prostrating over the pews. All right, I'm going to do my best.
I got faith in you, buddy.
But y'all go ahead and bow your head and close your eyes, and we can go ahead and get this thing started. Thank you, God, for bringing us here together, God. We ask that you allow us to take in whatever it is that we discuss and let others receive it in the way that they need to, God.
Yes, God.
That other people will be able to heal from whatever we say, that people will be able to express whatever that we're going to say, God, and use it and apply it in their lives, God. We ask that you just give us the strength through this trying time, God, as I pray for not only everyone, but especially for Jay's family, God. Whatever they've been going through, God, I ask that you give them that strength and that confidence to move forward, God. And that whatever it is that they are needing to get over, God, that they get over it with your grace and your mercy and your hand, God. Without you, God, nothing can be done. So with that, I ask in your son, Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I appreciate that, homie.
No problem, bro.
Thank you.
No problem.
But y'all, so like I said, this video is gonna be a little bit more serious. Today we're actually talking about depression.
Depression.
What? Depression. But yeah, we're talking about depression today. Yeah, I should go into it.
Okay, so let's start off with the questions, and then I'll ask more questions as we go along, and we go from there. So again, she said we're talking about depression, and we're gonna explain to you why we're talking about this. But before we get into that, I just want to ask, like, what is the definition of depression to you?
At one point in time, I thought it was crying all the time. At one time, I thought it was like just being down all the time. But what I realized over time is that depression is just, it's like numbness almost. It's like you can't feel. It's like you're in this place where it's like nothingness. It's like you're just in this deep dark hole, right?
So, I actually have the definition of depression. I want to ask you if you think it's accurate.
Okay.
But it says basically the definition of depression is the feelings of severe depotency or dejection. And so that means that you might have feelings of inadequacy, guilt, lack of energy, lack of sleep, and all of that good stuff. So does that sound accurate?
Definitely. I think it plays piece in it. Definitely. Because a lot of people they box depression as in being a person doesn't feel love. It doesn't. It may not even have anything to do with that at all. It could just be like you said, like just a lack thereof. Like a lack of purpose. Like there have been people who I've talked to, and not putting no names or anything out there, but there have been people who I've talked to where they just didn't understand their purpose, and they felt like, well, if I don't know what my purpose is, why am I here?
Yeah. So with that being said, like, have you ever felt depression, or have you ever been through depression?
Absolutely.
Go deep and dive into that. Like, when did you feel depression and all of that good stuff?
The most recent time I would say I felt depression was last year, and last year going into the beginning of this year, if I'm being honest. I was just in a really dark place. I just felt like, God, I know I'm here, but why? Like, what I once knew, what I was once so sure of, I'm not sure of anything anymore, God. Like, I need you. And I feel like that's when I really started tuning in a little bit more and getting deeper into that relationship, because the things that I once held so tight to, I was walking away from those things. Excuse me, being like, different relationships and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm truly dealing with me and truly dealing with, the issues that I had going on for the past years and everything. And so going into that and understanding those things more, it's like, honestly, I went into a dark place for a while. But that wasn't the first time. Like, I felt it through teenage years and stuff like that. And with more recent events, I've realized that it's not just me, but it could actually be a generational thing.
Right. Dang, you going into questions that I'm trying to express. But before you go into that, I want to just reiterate what you said. But basically, she was saying that depression can stem from, you having a lack of purpose, right? And how you felt it earlier this year because, you were walking away from things and then kind of like had to reevaluate who you were. But in the mix of you figuring it out, you felt some depression because it's like, dang, now I really don't know.
Yeah.
And not like knowing.
You lose sense of who you are.
Yeah.
Or who you thought you were.
Yeah, who you thought you were. And now it's like, dang, it's kind of like, it's kind of like a turtle.
Yeah.
Or what? I don't want to. What sheds their skin other than a snake? Nah, bro. Yeah, I don't want to do so. Let's just say snail. I think a snail.
I mean, no, you can even think of a human. Like, we have dead skin. We shed skin.
That's scary.
It's nasty, but it's the truth.
I think
we don't keep all our layers.
I think we have all new skin every 7 years. Did you know that? It's either 5 or 7.
Dang, so I got 3 and a half.
I wouldn't let you know.
I feel like I know where you're going with that, but it's okay. We don't talk about it on the mic.
You said what?
Carry on.
What? Anyway, so what I was saying is basically you had to, everything was stripped away from you, and now you was developing new skin, but you ain't know how to react to it, or you didn't know what the skin even represented, like who you were.
Right.
So, so go ahead and talk about what it is that actually brought on the subject and all of that.
So, Tuesday, my family got a call that my uncle committed suicide.
Speak up, now speak up for the people.
I did. I was in the mic. Yeah, my dad's brother, supposedly, everything's still, we're still trying to figure stuff out, but supposedly Tuesday he committed suicide.
Wow.
And there were some things that took place prior to, as far as like, certain conversations and stuff, where he kind of, made it known that he was dealing with some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's leading to this conversation, really.
Right.
Is the fact that I feel like am I getting too far?
No, you good.
Okay. I feel like as a community, as a Black community, we make mental health a taboo when there are so many Black people suffering from depression and stuff like that. But like with Black men, for example, they feel like they can't express it because they have to be strong or they have to be
Absolutely.
men. And with Black women, like, a lot of Black mothers, they probably deal with depression 9 times out of 10.
Absolutely.
But they feel like, they got to be strong for their kids. And it's like, it's okay not to be okay, but you need to talk. Like, you need to talk about it, bro. Stop holding this in. Stop thinking you have to be so strong for everybody. Open your mouth. Let it be known that you're dealing with something. And let's get help together. You're not crazy. People put a bad connotation on crazy, quote unquote. Or they'll think it's a turn on for like, people when they dating and stuff. They think it's a turn on. But when it comes to your mental, when you lose that, you lose you.
Mm-hmm.
Like legit. And y'all, coming from a person who's dealt with it, granted I wasn't on meds or anything like that. Like really my prayer life and being surrounded by people who love me really helped. But don't get me wrong, like I still have my days, like where it's like, what's going on? And I have to pray about it, I had to submit it to God and I move forward. But I do want to let it be known, just because you pray and all of that, God also created people to be in the medical field to help with things like this too. Mm-hmm. So there is nothing wrong with you still believing in God, praying to God about whatever it is, whatever spirits it is that you're fighting, whatever demons it is that you're fighting, but also going to a counselor and talking about whatever issues it is that you're having, whether it's dealing with depression or even dealing with post-traumatic stress. Because there are some things that bring that on even that we don't think is PTSD, but it actually is.
Right.
So really this whole episode is bringing to the light about these situations, about these things, so that we can get help. We are losing our people from this silent killer, and I'm tired of it, bro. I don't want anyone to feel the hurt my family feels right now.
Right.
So yeah, that's why we talking about it. But yeah, man, so that's what really brought this song was, everything that happened with my uncle.
Yeah, man, I think you definitely hit on something hard about, saying that our people, meaning the Black community, I think we have a difficult time going to doctors and all of that because we feel like that makes us weak. Mm-hmm. And so as a people, we know we have to be stronger than, let's be real, than other ethnicities to a certain extent.
Right.
So when we have to say, oh man, we got to do this like that, like them too, and it's like, well, we stronger than that. Like we gangsta, right?
Right. Yeah,
so, but it's not that. It's not saying that you're weak. It's saying that you're willing to be actually strong enough to say, I'm accepting this, or I'm not okay, and I'm accepting this. I'm strong enough to do that.